Hi kindergartners! So today my video is going to be about writing because I don't get to chat with you guys anymore and that's something that I miss. So what we're going to do today in our writing is that we're going to write about something that makes us happy, because right now I feel like a lot of us may be feeling a little bit sad because we don't get to see each other every day, and one thing to do when you're feeling sad is to think about something that makes you happy. So something that makes me happy that I've been doing a lot of, that I don't usually get to do too much of with being a teacher and a mom, is cooking. I really like to cook, but I don't always have the time for it when I am teaching. So I'm going to kind of walk you through our writing process of what makes me happy, which is cooking. So Mr. G's recording and he's just going to kind of go over my shoulder as I walk you through. Okay? Okay. So the first thing we do on our writing tracker is always draw our picture first, and it's always good to talk about your ideas of what you want to write about. I also do not have any writing papers, so I just did this myself. I have my name at the top. I always write my name, and then we always date our paper at school, so that's what I did for this one. So first thing we're going to do is draw our picture. We talk about it, we talk about what we're going to write, and then we kind of go into our drawing. So like I said, I'm going to write about what I like to do, which is cooking. So I'm going to draw a picture of that, and I'm going to draw my kitchen. So I'm going to start off with my kitchen counter. So there's my counter that I did all my cooking on yesterday. And then over here is going to be kind of where my stove is, where I cooked my food. Okay, so over here, and I cooked something called empanadas, so that's what I'm going to be writing about. And it's kind of, I guess if you've ever had a calzone, which is like a pizza kind of meal. It's like a dough, and there's different fillings inside that you get to choose whatever you want to do. So I made those yesterday and they turned out pretty good. Okay, so here's my pan that's on top of my counter. So there it is. I have a big pan because I made a lot of them. And then empanadas kind of look with a straight line and then a curved line like that. And then I had these little, I used my fork and I kind of made these little imprints on them. So I'm just going to do a bunch of those. Remember, when we're writing, we want to add a lot of detail. We want to write where our setting is. That's where you are. Are you outside? Are you inside? And if you're inside, where are you? So here's my setting. I'm in the kitchen. There's my pan with my empanadas, and I had some kind of mixing bowls over here. I had a little bowl that had my egg wash. I had my spatula. That kind of helped me scoop my things around. And then over here I had my stove. So I'm going to draw my little stove tops. So you'll know that this is where the food cooks. Okay, so there we are. And then of course I'm going to add me, because that's who was in my story. You always want to add your characters. Who are you with? Is it just you? Are you with your mom or dad? Are you with your brother or sister? Okay, and I'm going to kind of draw my hands going this way because I'm kind of cooking this way. And remember, if it's hard, it's okay. The more we practice, the easier it'll get. And I haven't added any color yet, so I'm going to add my hair when I do that. And then, so I kind of got my picture done for the most part. And then the second thing we do is we add labels. So I'm going to think about what I could label in my picture. So of course I have me, so I'm going to draw me, or write me. And remember, with our labels, we're trying to box them so they're not running into our pictures. So here I have a pan that has my empanadas on it. So and remember, we learned and am is the letters A and M, or A and N. So I'm boxing that. And then I have my stove, so I'm going to kind of turn my paper so I can label it this way. So I'm going to start with the first letter, st, o, v. Okay, now I have a vowel, which is my O, and if the O says its name, I always have to add on my magic E at the end. If you ever have a word that has a vowel in it, make sure check and see is it saying its name. If so, you have to add that magic E at the end. Okay, so we got me, pan, stove. You can add more, but I'm going to move on to my sentence so this isn't too long of a video. Okay, so here I'm going to start with my sentence on my lines, and we always start with a capital or uppercase letter. So my sentence is going to say, I made empanadas. That's the first sentence I'm going to write. So I always, whenever I write my sentence, I say it out loud, and then I start with the first word. So I made empanadas. The first word in my sentence is I. Okay, and we know that even if it's not at the beginning of our sentence, I is always capitalized. So there's I, and I'm always going to add a finger space, or remember, we can add our lines for our dashes. That's always, or also a finger space. So I made. Okay, now I don't know how to write the word made, so I got to start with the beginning and see the sound that I hear the sound and then write it. So I know that's an M. A, no, that's an A. Made. I hear a D at the end. Okay, so I made. Ooh, let's take a look at the word made. I have a vowel in there, which is A. If you forgot what a vowel is, I also added a video of a vowel song on Clever, so you can go on and look at that too. So the A is saying its name in the word made, so I have to do a magic E at the end. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread my sentence. So I made, finger space or a dash if you want to, and I'm going to write the word empanadas. Now that's a long word. I know, it's okay. So we're going to chunk it apart and write smaller parts of it. So I'm going to start with the very first sound, which is eh, eh, eh. I know that's the short sound for the letter E. And remember, we only have capital letters when we're at the very beginning. So everything else from here on out is lowercase. Okay, so I made empanadas. So M, that's an M. Emp, I know that's a P. Empe, I hear another E in there. Empen, that's an N. Empena, I think that's an O sound. Empanad, there's a D. Empanadas. I hear an S at the end. Now parents, this is okay if we're sounding out words and we're just writing the sounds that we hear. So sometimes those big words may not be spelled correctly, and that's okay. We just want to encourage them to just sound it out the best they can and write the sounds they hear. So I made empanadas. Now it's the end of my first sentence, so I gotta add a period. Okay, from here, I would encourage you to try to write a second sentence of whatever you want. I'm gonna stop my video here so it's not too long, but if you can, think of a second sentence, what else can you add? And then I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with adding some color. Okay, well, I would love to see your guys' writing of what is making you happy in this kind of sad time. So if you want to write about what makes you happy and what you've been doing that makes you happy, feel free to send me those to either my email or over balloons. Okay, have a good day, and I miss you so much. Okay, bye.